So the dimensional trial of Void Waste is a little different from the standard 2-star version, which you probably already know. And it seems like there's a lot going on and that it's really complicated. But don't you worry, I will explain all the tips and tricks in this guide you need to know to master all of the different tiers. Okay, so most of the dungeon is completely the same. So of course you again have to block here the 3 laser beams, so that they are not hitting the boss. Here it's just important that these stacks go way faster up, so you really need to swap here constantly with another player. What is really helpful here if you build a group with 3 ranged and 3 melees, and then always 1 ranged and 1 melee are blocking a laser beam. You of course don't have to do it that way, but it makes everything just way easier. Okay, but the biggest change in this dungeon is the breath mechanic, and here of course a lot of stuff is happening. But first of all, it's really important that you understand when this mechanic always starts. So you might have seen always these yellow areas on the ground, which just deal a little bit of damage if you stay on them. So the damage is really not too critical, but importantly here is that the second time he is placing these yellow orbs, always shortly after he is starting with this mechanic. So it's really important that you always keep an eye on that. Okay, but why is this so important? Because when the mechanic starts, everyone gets this purple ring around them. If you hit with the ring another player, then you will fear this player. And if you fear it, you can't control your character, and then you might run into the yellow lights. And then always all the chaos starts happening. That's why you want everyone to run directly back to the pillars, so that they are not fearing the other players. So you track the yellow orbs, then you know when the mechanic starts, and right before the mechanic starts, you're already back on the pillars. Then everyone gets this purple ring and no one is getting feared. Then of course you have to look out where are the pillars that need to be destroyed. And then you move together as a team out of the danger zone. It's really important that you move here as a team. In this mechanic, it's just really important to not panic and get an overview of everything. But don't only look here if you are on the right spot, also keep an eye on your teammates. So maybe you have to rotate a little bit more so that he's also in the safe zone. It's just really important to not panic and get an overview over the situation. So it's still the same that the closest person always gets this yellow orb and can control the breath. So usually always the tank is doing that. Of course, when the mechanic starts, everyone runs to the back, except for the tank of course. He needs to stay on the boss. And then as in the normal version, he destroys the pillars with the breath attack. So always keep in mind, 2 times the yellow areas on the ground, and then this mechanic will start. And then he will do again 2 times the yellow areas on the ground, and then again another mechanic will start. Then shortly after the second mechanic, he will do the other mechanic where everyone gets this yellow orb over his head. Immediately after you survive this mechanic, again another breath mechanic is coming. And then everyone starts again from the beginning. You need to understand these timings and then you produce way less chaos in the fight. Okay, then for this mechanic it is also important that the boss will do the mechanic twice in a row when he's around 40% HP, so as in the standard version. So really important here, don't go directly back to the boss, just stay on your position and wait where the new yellow orb is. And then you just rotate again as a team. If you don't know if the mechanic comes again or not, just wait a little longer. This is everything you need to know till tier 5. For tier 5 the mechanic is completely the same. The only thing that is changing is that on the position where the laser beam is, a yellow gate could come. These are the same gates what you have in Cursed Wasteland in the 1-star dungeon. So if you run into them, you of course will get stunned and will get a lot of damage. Okay, so you always have 3 active laser beams, and on 2 of those laser beams this yellow gates can come. So again, it's important to understand when the mechanic starts, because otherwise the yellow gate could spawn directly beneath you. So you play that exactly the same, you go directly back to the pillars and now all the yellow stuff is coming. Now, so that everyone can move freely in the arena, you have to open the gates as fast as possible. So you do it the same way as in Cursed Wastelands. You just go to the pillar and interact with it. It's just really important that you do that right away so that everyone can rotate correctly. And that's already everything you need to know here. So the dimensional trial is really not that hard, but only if you know and understand when the mechanic always starts. You directly move back to the pillars, open the gates and then always just rotate as a team. Okay, that's it, everything you need to know about the dungeon. If you have further questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.